Welcome back to our channel where we share updates and untold stories about. On September 17, 2025, The Young and the Restless delivered one of its most tension-filled episodes in recent memory. In true Genoa City fashion, alliances were tested, power struggles reached new heights, and Victor Newman once again proved why he remains the most formidable force in daytime drama. The chessboard was set, and by the end of the episode, Victor had discovered a powerful weapon that could bring Kane Ashby, Billy Abbott, and Jack Abbott to their knees. This recap takes you inside the heart of the episode, breaking down the schemes, confrontations, and emotional fireworks that left fans buzzing. Act 1. Victor's Shadow over Genoa City. The episode opened at Newman Enterprises, where Victor was seated at his desk, reviewing a portfolio of confidential documents with his characteristic stoicism. The great patriarch had been unusually quiet in recent weeks, choosing to observe rather than act. But that silence ended today. Victor's discovery came in the form of a confidential memo leaked to him by an unlikely source, an anonymous whistleblower from Chancellor Winters. The memo detailed financial discrepancies tied to a covert venture spearheaded by Kane, Billy, and Jack. The trio had secretly collaborated on an AI-driven business model meant to rival Newman's influence in both the energy and tech industries. As Victor leaned back in his chair, his expression hardened. "Those boys think they can outmaneuver me," he muttered. It was a line delivered with quiet menace, the kind that longtime fans know signals Victor's next big move. Act 2. Kane's risky gamble. Meanwhile, Kane Ashby was at Society, nervously sipping his espresso while reviewing spreadsheets on his tablet. He had placed himself in dangerous waters once again, trying to prove he could still hold his own in the corporate world. His partnership with Billy and Jack was supposed to be the deal that restored his reputation, but instead, cracks were forming. Lily stopped by Kane's table, her tone gentle but skeptical. "Kane, are you sure about this? Billy and Jack aren't exactly trustworthy partners." Kane put on a confident front, insisting this was his shot at redemption. Yet his unease was palpable. His alliance with Billy and Jack wasn't built on trust, it was built on mutual desperation. Each man had something to gain, but all three stood to lose everything if Victor discovered their scheme. Act 3. Billy's balancing act. At the Abbott mansion, Billy tried to juggle business and family. Chelsea confronted him about his growing obsession with the deal, worried he was slipping back into destructive patterns. "Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Billy, every time you get this restless, every time you start chasing something big, it ends in chaos. Don't do this again," Chelsea pleaded. Billy brushed off her concerns with a half smile, but the guilt flickered in his eyes. He wanted to believe this time was different, that he was in control. But the truth was, the stakes were higher than ever. Billy was gambling not just with his own future, but with the legacy of his family's company. Act 4. Jack's double bind. Jack Abbott, meanwhile, had his own set of troubles. At Jabot, Kyle questioned his father's involvement with Kane and Billy. The generational divide was clear. Kyle saw the partnership as reckless, while Jack defended it as a necessary move to protect Jabot from Newman. But Jack's bravado cracked when Diane pressed him in private. "Jack, I know you. You're lying awake at night thinking about this, aren't you? If Victor finds out." Jack cut her off, his tone sharp. "If Victor finds out, then we fight back. I won't let him steamroll us again." Yet Jack's resolve was shaken when he received a mysterious text message later in the episode. The message read, "Victor already knows." Act 5. The Gathering Storm. By mid-episode, the tension reached a fever pitch. Victor met with Michael Baldwin in a hushed conversation at Crimson Lights. Michael, ever the loyal consigliere, warned Victor to tread carefully. These three together, Victor, they're unpredictable. Bringing them down could create more chaos than you're ready for. Victor's reply was chillingly calm. "Chaos is where I thrive." This line cemented the theme of the episode, Victor as the master manipulator, willing to step into the storm if it meant victory. Act 6. Secrets Revealed. The turning point came in a private Newman Enterprises boardroom meeting. Nikki entered, sensing the weight of whatever Victor was plotting. She pressed him for answers, concerned that his obsession with Kane, Billy, and Jack would drag their family into another war. Victor finally revealed the smoking gun. The financial memo tying all three men to illegal kickbacks, falsified reporting, and insider dealings. The evidence was damning, enough to not only ruin reputations, but potentially land them in legal jeopardy. Nikki's face fell. "Victor, if you use this, you'll destroy them." Victor's voice dropped to a whisper. "That's the point." Act 7, Kane, Billy, and Jack cornered. The episode then cut between Kane, Billy, and Jack as each man separately realized the walls were closing in. Kane discovered that a Newman-affiliated bank had frozen one of their accounts. Billy received a cryptic warning from Jill, who told him flat out, "Victor's onto you. Get out while you still can." Jack, staring at the text on his phone, clenched his fists in frustration, knowing there was no easy escape. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. By the time all three men met late that night in a dimly lit corner of society, panic had replaced ambition. Their conversation was terse, each blaming the other for letting Victor get the upper hand. "Kane, you promised this would be airtight." "Billy, don't point the finger at me. Jack's the one who insisted we expand so fast." "Jack, enough. We need to stand together, or Victor will crush us individually." But unity was already slipping through their fingers. Act 8, Victor's final word. The episode closed back at Newman Ranch. Victor, sitting with a glass of brandy, placed a call to his assistant. "Prepare a press release," he ordered. "The time has come." As the screen faded to black, his final line hung ominously in the air. "They thought they could outsmart me. Now, they'll pay the price." Creative analysis. This episode was vintage Young and the Restless, a masterclass in slow-burn tension and character-driven drama. Each of the four central men, Victor, Kane, Billy, and Jack, was given rich material, showcasing their strengths, flaws, and insecurities. Victor's power. The writers highlighted why Victor remains the show's anchor. His quiet calculation, paired with ruthless determination, makes him a force no one can truly defeat. Kane's desperation. Kane's attempts to prove himself once again place him in over his head, echoing past storylines, but with new stakes. Billy's recklessness. The episode cleverly played on Billy's history of impulsiveness, showing how he risks everything in the name of validation. Jack's pride. Jack's determination not to be overshadowed by Victor remains his Achilles heel, pushing him into alliances that could destroy him. What made the September 17th episode so captivating was how it set the stage for a multi-front war. Victor doesn't just want to beat his rivals, he wants to dismantle them, piece by piece. What comes next? The fallout promises to be explosive. Will Kane, Billy, and Jack find a way to outmaneuver Victor, or will their alliance collapse under pressure? Could Victor's victory cost him personally, straining his relationship with Nikki and his family? And most tantalizing of all, who is the anonymous whistleblower who gave Victor the damning memo in the first place? If this episode was the opening move, the coming weeks will be the battle of Genoa City's titans, a fight filled with betrayal, sacrifice, and possibly redemption. Subscribe the channel to get such videos.